Hi YouTubers, welcome to Create-a-liscious. Have I got something good news for you? I had a bit of a play this morning and I'd like to share with you. I'm not sure if anybody else has done this, but I'm just showing you what I created this morning. I haven't looked on YouTube to see if anybody else has created it. So I'm not owning it, but I'm just putting it out there. So these little beauties, magenta water ink, orange water ink, blue water ink, and they're all sprays, okay? Red water ink, it doesn't look too red, but it's like it is red, and like a blue-green I've made there. Water ink. Now, the water ink, I'm just so loving it. It was by accident, and it was one of those things that I suddenly went, I wonder what would happen. One of my crazy statements. And this is what nearly spilt it all over you then. This is what I came up with. I haven't done the yellow because I want to just leave this as a demo. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on paper, well, card at least, and actually watercolour paper. And what it is, are you ready? It's so simple. You guys are going to love this. If you haven't already seen it, as I say, I don't know if anybody else has already done it, but I've done it this morning. And it was jogged by an old memory I had. Tissue paper. Look at the grub. Sorry about the grubbiness of my fingers, but that was because I was in paint yesterday, ink. So all of these beautiful colours of tissue paper. Just tissue paper, look. And this is from Hobbycraft. It's just tissue paper. And I remembered, even when I bought this, I actually remembered going back, way back, I remember my mum used to use what was called coloured water. And she used to put her flowers in it. She used to buy white flowers. And she used to colour the water with tissue. But in those days, it was crepe. We used to use crepe paper. But crepe paper these days don't release the colour as well as tissue paper. So in here is tissue paper. And it's just in water, hence why I called it water alcohol. And obviously there's only so much pigment in this. This is 4 or 5 tissue slices. And so what happens from that point is this. This is, let me just get those out of the way before I sneeze and they go everywhere. That would be funny, right? Colourful sneezing. So I don't know how long they would last, and they're not really vibrant colours, but and this is just on, it's still a bit damp, this is just on cardstock, white, what was originally white cardstock, and it's just lovely. They're just very subtle colours, but I guess the longer the longer you leave it, you're only going to get so much colour out of the tissue because it's only got so much pigment in it. And then in my book that I've shown you in the last couple of videos, this is one of the pages. I haven't finished this, but we're going to do this together. And so this is on, I'm not sure if this, I said it was watercolour, but I'm not sure if it's not mixed media. I'm not really sure what paper it is because it doesn't state on the book itself. But I just want to show you, let me just move that before I'm a dangerously clumsy person some days. So I'm just going to show you, oops a diddle, what these look like. So we're just going to use this magenta. And, I'll tell you what else, I'm a crazy bird, honestly. I'll tell you what else I've done to this, because I love my fragrance, right? So, and I'm very much, without going into my world, into my other life, very much work with essential oils. And so fragrance is my biggie. So I've put 1 drop of essential oil, different fragrances into these bottles as well, and mixed it up. So my paintings actually do smell lovely. They're not just pretty to look at. So again, you could just leave this to dry. Oh, but I get that out of the way of my. So I'm just spraying it all over my Mac here. Just put some tissue paper on that. So you could leave that to dry, or you could obviously air dry it. But look at those beautiful, it's soft, it's subtle colours. It's not as vibrant on screen as it is on my paper. And again, let's just put some blue on there before I start, blue-green, before I start drying it. Again, it's like anything, you can use more or less. So it doesn't really make any difference at all. There's a little bit of red. And I'm going to just show you a little bit more of the blue, and then I'm going to put a little bit of orange on. But it would be like anything, you could probably, oopsie, go over it. But you know what, when I did this, and I thought, oh, I just love things that are simple, man. I don't do complicated. So that's that. She reaches down for the super duper hairdryer, and I'm just going to, I love this like effect where I move the paint around. I just love that. Yeah, I'm not going to leave that on too long for you. So, yeah, you could spread the ink again like you would normally when you're working with watercolour but it goes a bit muddy. Or you could just leave it to dry. I'm just not patient. I mean, patience doesn't even come into my world. It never has. So I'm not an advocate. I'm not an advocate of patience. But so there it is in all its glory. So again, you could intensify the colour. I'm just going to put some more green on here. And you could actually wait for it to dry, but because Mrs. Impatience here doesn't do, as I said, that, I'm just going to quickly dry it off again. I won't bore you with that bit. I'm sure you don't want to watch me dry my... Okay, so that's it. Look, how beautiful is that? And again, I have to say that the camera isn't picking up the intensity of these colours as much as is on the paper. So you're looking at it very subtly, your end, but this is actually quite vibrant. It's not going to say vibrant. It's got colour, you know. It's not pale, it's not bright, but it works. So that's on that paper. Now I'm going to continue to show you. So that's on watercolour, so I'm just going to leave that to dry. And this was the one I did just on cardstock. So this cheapo cardstock from, I don't know where I got it from. Probably I might have got it from the pound shop, or I might have got it from Hobbycraft, or I don't know. I can't remember. So I'm just going to go over this with some Greenio. And again, it's water, so you have to wait for it to dry. And I'm just going to leave that for a second to see if that will do what I want it to do. But in the meantime, it's going onto my drop paper, so I'm just going to spray some on here to see, because this is just paper. I just want to see what happens on, you know, what would happen on normal paper. Just don't put them all together. So obviously you're going to need some spray bottles. Look at that, just there, right there. And just leave that to dry. But I'm going to wait for that to dry. I am actually going to wait for that to dry. So this is exciting. I'm excited, and I'm not actually sure. As I say, if anybody else has done this, what else should I do with that? Let's see what happens if. You see, there I go again. What would happen if? I guess you could blend it whilst you've got it on the paper. Of course you could, it's watercolour, you know, why couldn't you? So you don't have that spray effect on it. See, that's what it's all about, isn't it, peeps? It's just about experimenting and getting creative. So go and grab yourselves some cheapo tissue paper, little squares, and I think they do them in rounds, but the actual shape is irrelevant because you're going to put about 4 or 5 tissues in. That's what was in these colours. So I'm guessing if you put more in, then maybe the colour would come up more vibrant. But super duper to work with. And again, you could add, I don't know, you could just world your oyster with it, eh? So, so I've now got rainbow coloured drop paper and the card, whoopsie, that's the green I've just sprayed here. So again, nobody needs to have a large budget because I can't remember how much the tissue paper was. It was something like, I think it was £2, but I can't remember. It's not expensive and you get hundreds in there. So that's all I've come to show you today. And there's my drop paper that's just made itself from a couple of sprays. And so I'll probably get to stamp on top of that at some point. So enjoy the rest of your day. And be magnificent as always. And again, experiment. Allow your life to unfold the same way. When you're journaling or when you're doing artwork, it's really, really important to allow yourself time, allow yourself to open to the natural self that flows without us getting in the way. And colour does that. Colour is a great teacher of blending, and it teaches us freedom because it moves around the page automatically, and it teaches us lots of things. Fluidity, because it again moves around the paper on its own. And if you apply that concept or those concepts to your life and get out of the way and allow your life to unfold, it can be as beautiful as a coloured rainbow on paper, and more actually. So until the next time, I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll catch up again soon. Thanks for watching.